Good afternoon, friends and followers, or just friends, or just followers, or whatever you are. Good afternoon. So, I guess the last video that we posted was that I got a new motorcycle, and still riding the new motorcycle. I've been out twice with it, that I've been off work and had time to actually get out. This road sucks. Excuse me. So I went out last weekend. Last weekend it was really super nice here. And we went out and rode, knocked out about... so I had 120 miles on it, so I guess we knocked out about 480? Was it 420? 480? I don't know. When I parked it in the garage last weekend, I had 504. So, knocked out the initial 500-mile engine break-in last week. Took it easy. We went out some back roads, all two-lane, very minimal interstate, maybe like 2 miles up the interstate, maybe. Because where I leave my my town, you kind of have to jump on the interstate to get one or the other places. So jumped on the interstate, rode up to the next town, jumped back off, rode all two-lane, rode the curves, upshifting, downshifting, speed up, slow down, all those little towns back in the back of the sticks of Missouri. And initial thing about this 114 is, wow, this thing's got some juice and it's got it all in the right places. So if you want to just ride a motorcycle, just touring around and having a good time, this bike has that. If you want to stoplight to stoplight race, this bike has that. I'm sure it's not going to beat the little crotch rockets, okay? I'm not claiming any of that. But it does have way more juice and way more get up and go than the 103 that I had. Okay, now I've seen some comments where you guys are saying that you've cammed up your 103s and did this and did that and whatever you did. So that's cool, but I kind of have a philosophy of I'm not going to tear the motor apart until something's wrong internally. And then if something is wrong internally, then and only then I'll replace those parts that need replaced with better parts. So for the most part, I'm a stock motor guy, and just whatever the factory gave you is enough for me. I'm not out here to race. I'm not out here to earn gold medals or try to be an Olympic motorcycle rider. That's just not me. I'm out here to have a good time, enjoy my motorcycle, and take some photos and see the sights. So talking about the pep and the step here, from takeoff here, it's got really good get up and go. The second place that it has a really good get up and go factor is like in that third and fourth gear range, where like here you see it's 45 mile an hour. So just past the overpass here, it'll jump right up to 60. So this third and fourth gear range that you're in, when you just want to jump right up to 60 mile an hour, it'll get up and go. I'm telling you, you lay on that throttle and bam, you're up there. The third place that it has really good pickup and get up and go is when you're in sixth gear and you are riding up this interstate like this. When you are in sixth gear and you come up and you see that you're going to need to pass, but you're kind of going to have to do it quick, you don't really need to knock a downshift down. Just put your signal on, check your lane, and pour the power to it, and it'll get up and go. So overall, so right now I'm headed back here. I've been out all day. I put on. So I had 504 when I started. I'm at 725 now. I'm going to go to the house. I'm cold. It's 42 degrees here today. So I've been out for I've been out for 3 or 4 hours, and even though I've got my heated gloves on here from Field Shear or Mobile Warming, even though I've got my heated gloves on, I'm still cold. I didn't dress appropriately. It's all on me. I wasn't going to go home and fix it. I knew it within the first 2 miles, but I just sucked it up and went on. But anyway, so I'm headed to the house now. This is where I told you there was a little bit of interstate that I had to ride. This is kind of the minimal interstate section I have here. And kind of the reason you have to do this is because of this waterway right here. Especially now that it's all flooded. But there's ways in and out where I wouldn't have to go this way. It's just more efficient to take this route, and it's only like a 4 or 5 mile stretch. So the key with the break-in was just no prolonged constant speeds, no prolonged constant RPMs. Listen, I really considered doing an iron butt ride, knocking out that full 1,000-mile break-in, and then come home and do that initial service and just be done with it. But on that iron butt ride, you're pretty much just putting the throttle down and going. So it's a whole lot of constant speed and constant RPM. So I didn't want to do that, especially with a new motor. I've got plans to knock out an iron butt, but they're just not until I get this motor broke in and know that it's good to go. So far so good. I've changed a couple things. I added foot pegs down here, the highway pegs. I added foot pegs. I put on like these Memphis shades, brush dusters or whatever. But they knock off a lot of this wind, and some of that stuff you don't think of, but when you're out doing, excuse me again, when you're out doing like an iron butt ride or prolonged distance, the difference in the wind beating you on the hands, or like the fairing up here, feel it in your shoulders and your arms. You don't so much feel it while you're riding because you're out there and you're going and you're having a good time on the motorcycle. It's the next day. Next day when you wake up and your shoulders are all stiff and your back's stiff and you're trying to figure out, well, why am I so stiff? All I did was ride. But a lot of that wind and stuff does that for you. So that's really all I got today. I'm trying to knock out this initial 1,000 miles on this thing, and I'm not far from it. I could probably knock out the next. So I'm 730 miles right now. I could knock out that other 170, no problem today, and get that done. But man, I'm cold. I'm just really cold. I need to go home, take a hot shower, and warm up, and lay around with my bulldogs. So that's what I'm doing. No other new news. No other big changes that I've done. I changed the tank badges. That was kind of the big step I did that I wasn't sure was going to work or not, and it did. It worked out good, and I really liked the way it turned out. So if you'll just check back maybe on my Instagram page, you'll see where I put that up there. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following, and we'll get something out to you soon.